Wow, what a mess that opening was. First off, I didn't have my countdown set correctly when the video started. Second off, I let the audio of the intro music play, which went back into the microphone, and I think somehow it got canceled out and it didn't cause a big issue. Thirdly, what is my microphone doing in frame here? Let me just back it off just a little bit. Wow, so unprofessional. Fourthly, what is all this garbage behind me? It's here all the time. Like a permanent fixture of my life. You'd think 2023, I would say to myself, I'm not going to have garbage behind me all the time. I don't want people to think I'm a garbage person. But you know what? I think I kind of am a garbage person, if I'm really honest with myself. Or if not a garbage person, a pile person. Because the amount of effort to scrupulously maintain that all of your possessions are properly placed on shelves or inside of drawers or lucite containers or whatever the fuck, it's just not worth it. I'm a piles man. I got piles in my house. Not huge piles. Okay, some of them are kind of big. Some of them I have to walk around. But for the most part, just little practical piles. It's kind of a staging area for where those things might eventually be taken from and put into a proper place. But I don't have this compelling thing to just put everything in the right place. And it saves me time. It saves me so much time. Anyways, such a tangent. What am I doing? I'm making animated faces that you can talk to, and it's a Sunday afternoon, and I'm eager to get started on the next bout of work here. Let's demo recent stuff. So you could essentially say all of the recoloring is done for the faces, including fixing up the more obvious bugs that popped up and refactoring so that the code isn't too hard to maintain and add to in the future. So we can change the skin color. We can change the hair color. We can click on the eyes. We can change the eye color. Or iris color, as I like to put it. And yesterday, I did some of that work I was just talking about, and also, this is a very simple thing, but if you click outside of the head, it selects the head. A very simple thing, but it's makes it much easier to quickly see what's going on with the head. So if you've got the nose selected or the eyes selected, and you just want to preview it without all this junk on the screen, all this UI Chrome, just click anywhere off the head, and then it makes a selection box go around the head. That's the selected part, and then it's easier to see what's going on with like previewing animations and stuff. All right. So today, what I want to do is get extra parts to work. It's a little bit different than the other parts. I had to sit down this morning and think through the design. I'll show you some of my thoughts in my design documentation. That's too strong of a word. In my design notes. You say something's documentation, it sounds like it's going to live forever as an important contribution to Western culture or something like that. No, these are just some quick notes. Pocket design, I like to call it. Extra parts. What were they? They're like hats, eyeglasses. They're things that don't have like a dedicated type to them, but you can still add them to the face. Dedicated types so far are nose, eyes, and mouth, and the head. And it's unlikely I'm going to add any new parts beyond those besides the extra parts. Extra parts is just things you can throw on top of that. They don't have any animation to them. They're static images. They don't change in response to events like mood changes. I decided I'll put a cap on it at 50. You could add 50 extra parts. So like if you were trying to put together a really meticulous beard full of individual strands of hair or something like that, then you could use 50 parts to do that. But more likely, worst case scenarios, or what I call P99, like not the most extreme case, maybe 20 parts. Someone going a little bit crazy with the parts, 20 parts, that's more like the case I want to be prepared to handle with performance and other considerations. And then the more likely thing with extra parts is you might have one or two. Okay, the part should support recoloring by skin or hair, which is set at the head level and cascades down to all the other parts like nose and eyes and all that. They should be able to have a Z order or drawing order that puts them before or after other parts. That's a tricky aspect of this that I'm thinking about still. Like I was saying, they're static images, they're not animated. They can be position resized just like all the other parts. They can be saved into the face document like the other parts. Then I start thinking about the part chooser, which I've got already. So if I click on the nose and say, well, let's choose a nose. This thing is showing 13 different options. And I thought, well, in this first implementation of extra parts, how many extra parts do I want to be able to show on here? And I was thinking, since they fall into so many categories, it might be in the future there could be like thousands of parts, because it's sort of the wild card option. So you could see in the future there might be parts with tags like scarves. You click on scarves and neckwear. Neckwear might be the tag. You click on neckwear and then it shows only the 17 parts that are for scarves and bow ties and sashes and etc. But I thought, don't design too far ahead. Just as long as you know that your architecture can move there eventually without a lot of grief and refactoring, you'll be fine. So I decided initially, let's just worry about showing about 20 extra parts in the chooser. And like I was saying, eventual support to get to like thousands of extra parts. Okay, how will parts stand to be represented in the face document? I started playing with that a little bit, and one idea I had was to have the face document start breaking out each part with its own settings in more detail. I realized after a bit that the way I have it now, which is like this, is actually pretty capable of expressing what I need, and I could stick with it. The trick is that in the part YML, not the face definition YML, I need to be able to have some extra information about that part. It's not a setting you can configure, but simply informs what the default values are going to be after you've placed the part. And then all the extra stuff can just be specified in the same format that I've got. So basically I just need layout, X, Y, width, height. For the parts, I can have their drawing order come from the part YML file and not be configurable for an individual face. So I can say recoloring none, hair or skin. I don't need to put a mask in the sprite sheet. I don't need to. If I did in the future, I might add like another constant, like recolor hair plus perhaps, and then that would signal to the code that looks at the sprite sheet. It's not just one cell containing the graphic, it's two, you know. But for now I can just say hair, and if there's like say a ponytail extra part that's supposed to go behind the head, then if I say that it recolors for hair, that means it'll just take that full image of the ponytail asset and just recolor it along with whatever was set in the face definition file. Okay, so I got my design pretty well considered. I think for this session, I'm going to aim to get a part chooser working. Not part drawing yet, although I'll have to do a little bit of that code to get it to render inside of the chooser. So when I click on add here, I want to go to a chooser screen, kind of like I've got for these other things. And say choose part number 1 or something like that. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna work on. I'm gonna get going on that. Before I do, I'm gonna grab myself 1 cup of coffee and head right back here. Won't be long. Will not be long. And then I think I'll put this little message inside of the chat log. Copy. Paste. Why no paste? Oh jeez. So dumb. You know, when it seems like you must have copied something, and you do a paste and nothing happens. That's kind of what's going on. I apologize for the music popping in and out. If I paste here, it's fine. Okay. Forget it. I'll do a bot or something later. Okay. Be right back with coffee.
He's upset, but he's always upset.
She's probably fine, but don't draw attention to
I
herself.
don't care if she's a pusher.
Why?
It'll go back to normal. Just wait a
People
bit.
want to ruin it for everyone else.
Send the other people and see what they say.
You're saying
Hey,
she's too
nobody
pushy.
died. You should be more
Can we
afraid.
get a beard in here? Why is it that hard? She just wanted people to clear the path.
She pushed someone
She's one of those types.
in the first place. But do we understand?
Hey, just look away.
What a bruise.
Pushing on its own doesn't matter.
Violet, I've pushed people by accident.
Rather we not focus on the actions.
He's upset, but he's always upset.
She's probably fine, but don't draw attention to
I
herself.
don't care if she's a pusher.
Why?
It'll go back to normal. Just wait a bit.
People want to ruin it for everyone else.
Send the other people and see what they say.
You're saying
Hey,
she's too
nobody
pushy.
died. You should be more
Can we
afraid.
get a beard in here? Why is it that hard? She just wanted people to clear the path.
She pushed someone
She's one of those types.
in the first place. But do we understand?
Hey, just look away.
What a bruise.
Pushing on its own doesn't matter.
Violet, I've pushed people by accident.
Rather we not focus on the actions.
He's upset, but he's always upset.
She's probably fine, but don't draw attention to
I
herself.
don't care if she's a pusher.
Why?
It'll go back to normal. Just wait a bit.
People want to ruin it for everyone else.
Send the other people and see what they say.
You're saying
Hey,
she's too
nobody
pushy.
died. You should be more
Can we
afraid.
get a beard in here? Why is it that hard? She just wanted people to clear the path.
She pushed someone
She's one of those types.
in the first place. But do we understand?
Hey, just look away.
What a bruise.
Pushing on its own doesn't matter.
Violet, I've pushed people by accident.
Rather we not focus on the actions.
He's upset, but he's always upset.
She's probably fine, but draw attention to
I
yourself.
don't care if she's a pusher.
Right.
It'll go back to normal. Just wait a
People
bit.
want to ruin it for everyone else.
Send the other one to see what they say.
You're saying
Hey,
she's too
nobody
pushy?
died.
You should be more
Can we
afraid.
get a beard in here? Why is it that hard? She just wanna be.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. Yo. All right. So, what do I know? What do I know I need to do? Parsing of the part file for the extra part type. Let's do all of that. So I'm going down into the SL Webface library, which is a dependency of the WISP web app. Okay, extra. And let's take the simplest of the parts and just copy it across. Okay, extra init data. I'm thinking let's just set one recolor profile. No, skin recolor profile, hair recolor profile. And then what I call it? Recolor, okay. Recolor and draw after, or place after. I think place after or draw after. I don't know. I gotta think about that a little further. Okay, recolor, string. Okay, and then I'm thinking a little bit about the sequencing. So this word place after or draw after. Why would I pause on that? It's because I'm wondering if I want to think of place after as just the default order that the part is placed at, and then you could change it afterwards. If that's the case, then I would use the word place after. Draw after is more permanent, implies more permanence. So I'm really, it's not the word that's so important, it's the other way around. Do I want them to be reorderable after they've been placed? I'll say maybe. And I'll use place after as at least their initial order. Okay. probably it right there. Okay. Let's add some enums. Export default. Boy, do I even need that? I don't. Okay. Yeah, because I'm not going to use that method anyplace else. Let's just do some strings. Export recolor none equals none. Recolor skin equals skin. Recolor hair equals hair. Okay, another one was place after. That can just be the types. Down at the bottom, we've got this I as part type. Okay. Let extra bitmap. Yeah, let's just make this, if not needs recolor, then pass in recolor, skin recolor profile, hair recolor profile. Return extra bitmap. go further. Get applicable recolor profile. Then we'll just return a recolor profile or null. Okay, if recolor equals, I can do a switch statement. Switch recolor case recolor skin return skin recolor profile. There, okay. Case recolor hair return hair recolor profile. Otherwise, just return null. What? Tell you, iced coffee. It's good stuff. Okay, turn. Okay, this is a really easy one. That's pretty easy. Let's go to, I think, part loader util is the one. keep these things in a consistent order. Okay. Okay, so let's see. This is a little tricky right there. But I don't need to figure out right away to do. Ordering logic for extra parts. Okay. Okay, I think that's mostly fine. Let's see if that builds. Okay. And then it's time to make the chooser. So now that it's possible for me to load and render the extra part, or at least plausible, I haven't tried it yet, I should be able to create this dialog that lets me load in all the extra parts. And at this point I have just one. It's not a very good one. I just threw it together earlier today, quick little sketch of a hat. But let's see if I can create that dialog. So I'll go over to the Wisp project, which is the web app that we were just viewing. Under the part choosers, I see the nose chooser. I'm going to use that to copy and paste from as a pattern for the extra chooser. This is going to be a JSX file or a TSX file more accurately. Extra chooser. And that means it's React specific and uses this JSX style syntax. Okay. Change callback. Cancel parts, selected part now. Okay, all this should be the same. So open on change on cancel parts. Yeah, that's fine. Extra, I guess I'll do that to start. Okay. There's a lot of code inside of part chooser, this component, that should be able to load in all those thumbnails automatically without me writing that code. Let's go to the extra. No, not there. Let's go to. Is it there? Is it in the selection pane? Let me check. I've got, in the no selection pane, I've got a thumbnail showing the currently selected. Currently selected part for the nose. And I've got this remove and add, but they are going to methods passed in from the screen component. So it's up a level. Okay. So I go to the screen for the faces. Okay. On choose extra. Set mobile dialog. Replace. On choose extra. On remove extra. Yeah, let's leave this as unimplemented for now. Okay. And this does need to be set. Vision. Extra part now. That doesn't quite work. So let's just say 0. Yeah. So I have to come up with a better way to represent part selection, because unlike these other parts, you can have more than one of them. You can only have one head, one set of eyes, one mouth, one nose, but you can have as many extras as you want. So I'm gonna have to think about the data structure for that. But for now, let's just be able to bring up the chooser. That's the main thing. So I need to do a little bit of work following the pattern to set the extra parts. Be reusing code that was already written. All right, let's look for squiggles. Fact, this, I think I can Yeah, that will be an easy one to write. No, it won't. It won't. It won't. Leave it out. Leave it out for now. Okay. Choose extra. That's easy. One of the things that makes larger tasks keep from getting untenable is just keeping my scope really set. Really set to just a limited set of things that don't need to pull in more functionality. Because if I just go down any tangent that I know is work I need to do, I'll lose my focus on the initial set of work I was trying to do. So I'm just trying to get the chooser up to start. And it's pretty easy to sweater thread, which is a metaphor that a lot of people don't get. When you pull a thread on the sweater, you just want to get rid of that thread, but then it keeps on unraveling the sweater as you pull on it. That's what I mean by sweater thread. Okay, interactions, part chooser, interactions. Let's go to general interactions first because that's where my init is. I want set extra parts here. Just say to do. Just making sure I don't lose sight of that, but I'll come back to it later. Okay, part UI manager, part loader, on part focused. Okay, part loader. On part loader updated. Update loadable parts for type. Okay, let's look at that. I will have to go into part loader and make sure that this stuff is all in there. Right now I'm not doing a lot of tough coding at all. I am just following patterns that I've already set. Honestly, you know, like if I'm coding well, it tends to be that there's little bits of hard thinking when I'm doing design, and then after I've finished my design, it's just small amounts of it. No, it's like a lot of shallow thinking after the deep thinking of the design. That's like the ideal, but it's a little bit hard to reach that ideal. Okay. Let's take this comment and move it up to the data structure in question. Where are you at? Revision. Revision, where are you? Are you in revision util? Yes, you are. So if I change that here, then it'll light up syntax errors all over the project, and that'll be easier to find everything that needs to change at that point. So part loader. I see it's down here. Okay. Oh, I call it extra. It's already there. It's not extras, it's extra. Head, nose, eyes, mouth, extra. Okay. Cool. Then let's go look for the red squiggles. That. This you should be able to import. Okay. What? Oh, it's just over there. Do I have a getter? That's called... Oh, no. Okay, so you got extras here. Okay, I got confused. Okay, I was right the first time. Now let's come back to part loader. Make sure all this stuff related to extras is correct. Okay, so I do need to update my manifest. And my manifest needs an extra section. So let's go up to there. The manifest just says, here are all the parts that are available. Right now it's just got this little empty thing, but I can add beneath parts. Let's see. I think I called it tilted hat. YML. Let's double check that. No. Tilted hat.yml. Yeah, you got it. Okay, cool. All right. So just looking through for anything related to extra, see if I need to add something. Well, it feels like this must need to be here, but it will not be used immediately. The red squiggle is just going to be in the IDE for that. It's confused about the dependency. Okay, I get to get rid of this to do. So this part loader is basically responsible for creating all the thumbnails and retaining them for different parts that you might be able to choose to put on the face. Okay, so load manifest, it's going to grab that file that I just edited and get everything that needs to be loaded, including the extras. And then it's going to load the thumbnails for all of these. Now I already have some code that's there to load in thumbnails for the extras. Okay, get parts for type. That's fine. Okay. That looks like it has a chance of working. So let me think. Squiggles. On choose extra. That one I need to write. Let's go to screen interactions. Part chooser interactions. So if you make React components or React based UIs of any normal complexity, at some point you'll have a whole bunch of functions that handle the behavior of the UI when different things happen on the screen, as opposed to just rendering them, which tends to be the easy and simple code. And I move them off into separate files so they don't sit in there with the component, the React component, cluttering it up. And it seems to be a pretty good way to handle it. Let's take this. Use that as the pattern. You can't do remove extra yet. Okay, on choose extra. Pretty easy. Okay. Need an import there. Let's see if my imports got messed up. That looks pretty good. Let's see. Extra chooser from the current directory, part choosers, extra chooser. Okay, let's move it up top, sort it correctly. Got this weird indentation because I like to alphabetize by the file or the whole path of the file. In my imports, when I have a lot of them, I'll do it this way. Okay. Other red squiggles. Render selection pane. Yeah, okay, so I need to add in extra parts to the selection pane. Okay. Let's see how it builds. I give it a 50% chance of compiling. If it compiles, then I give it a 78% chance of showing the chooser dialog. Okay, it compiled. So then let's go over here. Extra. Okay. Add. Alright, I got it. It brought this in. So I can pick it, but nothing happens yet because I got all this logic to be determined about how to replace the part and show it and everything. Yeah, so that was my session goal, to get that done, but I've got hours in front of me, so I gotta keep going on this. I'm trying to figure out what like the next thing is I want to do. While I'm mulling that over, let's do a git commit. Git status. Git add. Okay, that was the SL Webface library. And this is the Wisp web app, which is the React-based web app. Okay, this does get a little bit trickier. Thinking a bit. Gonna have to do some design work here. So the thing that's a little bit tricky is I've got a whole bunch of code that says we're doing something with the X, and there can only be one of them, where X is a nose or eyes or mouth or head. But if X is extra, we can have 0, 1, or many extra parts. And I'm trying not to bite off too much design at once. The chooser was nice because it's pretty clear and simple how to write that following existing patterns. I don't have to design much for it, and if I do make some decisions, they're unlikely to affect later decisions. I'm kind of thinking, like, is there anything else that was like the chooser that I can carve out and just handle that and be fairly confident of my solution, so that after I've gotten that bit of iterative work done, the remaining part of the functionality is going to be clearer to me how to go about doing it. So just thinking about like the parts that I could pull out next. We could do ordering. Part ordering. I could do render one part on the screen. I could do not multiple. Could verify recoloring, making sure that works. That's an easy one, but doesn't make a lot of forward progress. It's just kind of testing the code I just wrote. It's probably a good idea. Or I could just kind of go into the hairiest part, which would be revision data structure. I'm going to verify the recoloring next. That's just good development practices, since I just added some new functionality. Instead of just assuming it works, let's just write enough to test it. So if I go to, in fact, I don't have to write any code to test it. I just have to change a setting here. So if I say recolor none, there's no recoloring that's done. But if I say recolor skin, then I can come back inside of here. Oh, I can't test it yet. Because inside the chooser, it's always going to use original coloring instead of skin recoloring. Okay. So I would need for it to show up here before I could test the recoloring. All right. Put that back how it was. So I can't verify that yet. Needs rendering on face. Let's take a look at the revision data structure. Because if I just start thinking about it a little bit, it may help me. So, it might be as simple as extra part numbers. Maybe that's all it is. And then here's the part that feels icky. How does this correlate to child elements of the face? Okay, this ties into the part reordering logic as well. Okay. So the part numbers, they reference available parts that could go into a slot. So if I say i's part number equals 2, that's saying from the available parts, we're using part number 2 instead of number 1 or number 0. Zero-based indexing. I'm worried about the linkages between different things becoming a little bit easy to lose from a bug. So I don't have something like part ID. So in this case, you could say each index within the part number corresponds to each index and extra part nodes corresponds to extra part, extra child element in array order. Okay, but I'm also using the array order for the drawing order. Okay. I'm going to go with this for now. It will be probably not too hard to change later if I need to. Again, I'm trying not to bite off too large of a design effort. Okay, so I added that, and that's going to do a nice thing, which is add little red squiggles to everything that I need to fix. Okay. This one I think just find loadable part nose for extras. Is that how we do it? Yeah, I think so. Okay. Okay, I guess let's write this function. Okay, part choose interactions. Okay, so the way we do this is we just look through all the children that are non-UI, find ones with the extra part, and actually it can be like this: extra components equals head component children filter child part type equals extra part type, like that. Okay. Then const part nose. Okay. For let slot I equals, let's say extra I equals 0, extra I less than extra components length. Part nose extra I equals then this part. Oh, it's not good enough. It's not freaking good enough. Here's why. I'm gonna finish the thought before I destroy the thought. So I'm using this part URL to figure out the binding. But unlike other parts, there could be a duplicate part. You could pick more than one of the same part. So like if there was, say, a pimple, you want to put a pimple on the face, well, you could put two pimples using the same part, and they would both share the same part URL. I need something else. I wonder about yeah, jeez. Okay. So I need something besides the part URL to determine what is selected for a given part. Oh wait, maybe I don't. No, I think it's okay. The same part could be, yeah, okay. I think I see what's tripping me up. It's my use of the word part. Because there's an instance of a part, and then there's the almost like the class that you derive the instance from. So I'll say loadable part. That means like a part that it's not placed on the face, it's just available. So loadable parts, they are unique by URL. Placed parts, well, I'll just say parts. They can be unique with the extra data that is about their placement and their layout and everything inside of a particular face. So this works. This code works. Okay, I'm also going to need create more than one of these stupid hats. So let's just flip this. And export. Boom, boom, boom. And come back over here. And we'll take this guy. Make a copy. The reason I need two is so that there's some way to choose. If you only got one, you can only choose one thing. So I just need some kind of choice. There we go. Okay, so coming back to revision util. This will give me my part numbers. This stuff is going to be tough to get all working right. But, okay, so maybe the way to do it is to continue with the patterns. Part chooser interactions, we've got on choose extra. Feels like we need something like a extra index or extra yeah, I'm gonna call it extra slot. That's gonna be better for me to come back to this code later and know what it's doing. And then on choose extra, unlike others, we will be saying, you know, what's, yeah. But will I need that for this part? I don't think I will. So let's take that back out. Okay, but extra slot now. That's part of it. Okay. And then what's this? Extra slot, no. Put that at the very beginning. Okay. So for this, we'll do a different function. An extra changed. This will be extra slot now. Well, at this point, I'm just recreating this whole function. Yeah, okay. So let's just inline this whole thing here. And then work from that. Okay. This is going to be extra parts. I take it back. There is some value in putting it in another function. Okay. Extra parts, extra slot, no. Don't need to pass this. Okay. Let's try it without that to start, and I can come back to it later if I need to. To do recoloring. Data or just coloring handle. Okay. Okay, don't need to do that. Well, weird. What do I think about this? What does that do? It just replaces. I think it will update the parent to go to the original place as before. So let's just go await. Okay, this isn't bad. Update for face related revision. Okay, so for that I need to update the existing part numbers. So I would need to have passed in the extra part numbers. Ugh. Stuff gets ugly. So that will update those, which will call the setter for setting the revision, which will redraw the faces screen, passing in this updated set of what part numbers are selected for each slot, which will allow the dialog, the chooser dialog when it opens, to have the correct part number set. I do have to write this. I do need to pass in the extra part nose. is this? It's going to be, I bet, in core util? Yes. Okay. So let's take this new function and write it. Yeah, this extra one plus that thing, that stuff's got to go. More like this here. Okay. Seems okay. Come back to the part chooser reactions, do an import. I'll take out this to do. I think it may already be handled. If not, I'll see it really easily. Coming back to general interactions. What are the squiggles left here? Okay. Extra partner equals bam bam. That will do it. Okay. Check my imports. That's cool. All right, back to Faces screen. extra selection pane. Yeah, it gets tricky. I want to call this slot now. It's going to be helpful. There's just so much here. So much to consider. Okay. Extra selection pane. We're gonna change this to slot no. Okay, all that's fine. I know I'm missing some plumbing here. So I need something like what's the selected part? What revision? Oh, part type is what it's going to come to. What if I do the slot number, I'll say, do I have part type up above? Yeah. Part type minus part type extra 1. So if I do that, then if the selected part type is extra 1, then it's going to do slot number 0. And thinking about it a little bit more, I need this to be slot number plus 1. Okay. Yeah. And okay, back to faces screen. Is specified will equal back to, let's do const slot no equals, and we'll go like this. Okay, and then is specified is going to be slot no less than revision extra part nose length. here, okay, this thing about this little bit of code, let's encapsulate that. Okay, slot number, part type. Let's just make a quick little function. Okay. Okay, and then let's see, down here, selected part now is going to be selected part now equals revision extra part nose this needs some getter logic too. Get selected part node for slot. And then you pass in revision extra part nodes, and then also the extra slot node. Okay, on change. On extra changed. Okay, that's extra slot now. Bam. Extra parts. Revision. Extra part news. And this get selected part no for slot. Oh no, that'll come in from here. Part no. Part no. Set modal dialog. Set revision. Get rid of that. Bam, like that. And this can be a number. Okay, now what? There. And extra slot, no, that's fine. return slot no less than action partner's length. And we say or then there's like unspecified. Okay, so that's all that is needed for that. Come back down here, no squigglies. Yank that out. It's got like a 12% chance of working the first try. Let's see how it compiles. Okay, it built. That's kind of unexpected. Let's see. Well, it loads. That's a good sign. I have noticed it takes me 2 clicks to get to the extra, and I'm not sure why. Okay, next thing to check. Okay, I got both of these available. Can add one in. This is working a lot better than I expected. Okay, so dude gets a little hat. It's a terrible art asset. But it is working. And this is selected, that's cool. Okay, what about replacing it? I just don't even deserve for it to work, but let's try it. It worked. That's a pretty decent outcome for all that new code added. Boy, this guy looks super douchey. I like him. You know, it is fun to just kind of play with it, which is a good sign. Means other people will enjoy playing with it too. Boy. Yeah, Twilight just makes me think of a lot of things that need to be updated or changed from what I was going to do. Let's see. Particular asset really makes me want a rotate functionality, but that's a little bit hard to do with Canvas 2D. If I go to WebGL, I would be in a better position to do that. It is hardware accelerated through OpenGL or the capabilities of the video card, but as far as I know, there's no APIs for Canvas 2D to rotate images. Let me check that. Ooh, what does this do? I could be entirely wrong about this. But will it do it for images? I don't think it will. This is all for the vector graphic stuff. Let's see what the experts say. Oh, 90 degrees, that's easy. That's easy. Oh, well, let's see what they're doing though. Oh, you can do rotation. You can do rotation. Oh, I like that. I gotta test it. I gotta see how well it works. So I will just make a quick hack and see if it does something good for me. So I could go over to where's it, extra on the render. Man, 45. Whoops. No. Maybe this will do it. Maybe this will do it real quick. So if that's the case, I could add rotation capabilities to any of the objects. Let's see how it does. You're gonna reload in a moment. Did I build it? There we go. Can I reload? Oh, I did a Wisp build, that's why. Rebuild this guy. npm run build on the face library and see what it does. Okay, boom, add. Yeah, it's already doing some rotation there. Now, it is getting confused about where things are. It's possible. It's possible. I would have to maybe do some more coding, but the capabilities there, like I might have to set the center point differently or do something to bring it inside the expected area. Yeah. So it will rotate. That's good to know. So let's just undo stuff that I just did. Okay, and there's the translation there, which would set it to the middle of the of the thing that's being drawn. I think. Draw rotated degrees. You clear the rectangle. You save this, right? Draw the image. Yeah, that was close to what I did. Just didn't do the translate. Okay, so it's good to know. It's not too hard. I'll come back to it. So what I want to do next with this session, I don't think I'm going to do too much more. I'm going to be careful not to pick stuff that is hard for me to finish in the next hour. I want to check the recoloring. I should have an ability to check that now. So if I change my part so that it does recoloring by skin or hair, I should be able to see some difference of it being applied. Okay. So tiled hat number 2. We'll say that its recoloring is based on skin. Okay. So then I come back into here and let's load the extra part. Okay, that did recolor. Now it doesn't have the same base palette to begin from, but let's play with this again. So skin was what I was using. Should just be able to get different skin colors by, or different hat colors. Yeah, okay. So it is affected. It won't look correct unless I have an extra part that is really like skin colored in the first place. Like a pimple, for example. But that's a good start. Let's change this to hair and test hair. Okay, that also looks recolored. So this will not affect the hat, but this will. Yes. Yeah. So it's changing the hair too, and that's matching the palette choice here. The hat is not matching the palette choice because it doesn't have a starting palette that's this kind of light blue, which all the other things do. Okay, and that's fine. I just wanted to check that it was applying the recoloring, and it seems like it is. Let's see how it does with an undo. Yep. Yep. Yeah, all good. I'll put this back to none. Okay. On the extra selection pane, this thing here, I want to show a thumbnail of the currently selected part. Like it should show right here. Okay, so let's add that in. This is a pretty good progress, and I am feeling like I was successful in like choosing like iterative parts of the design to work on instead of having it all figured out in advance. I feel like I can keep going on this and like there won't be too many hard problems in front of me. Like I might be done with extras next weekend. That would be great. Maybe even before next weekend. I can use next weekend for something else ambitious. Okay, so let's go back to the extra selection pane. Oh, that's where I was. Okay, and I want to have a part thumbnail. this will be, where is that coming from? So let's see where I got it over here. Thumbnail bitmap. Okay. Okay, that's good. I need to pass in the thumbnail bitmap, so back up to the faces screen. See how they did it. It's not in the chooser, it's up here. Get thumbnail, yeah, that's how it's done. Okay, got it. Except it'll be extra parts. Revision. Need to use that same const extra partner equals get selected partner for slot. Okay, and I pass in I guess extra part nose, and then the slot no, but that needs to get passed up. Okay. Oh, extra part nose will be inside of the revision. Right? So this is going to be revision, extra part nose. Okay, cool. Do that. That will give me the thumbnail. And let's see how that looks. There it is. That's pretty good. Dumb little hat for his dumb little head. Okay. What else? If I've got an extra number 1 specified, I want another slot to open up extra number 2. So I think that's the next thing. No, I'll do remove first. Cancel, remove. Does nothing now, but that's a pretty easy one for me to handle. Okay. Part chooser interactions. Okay, export function. Remove extra. And then I need to specify the slot number. And I need to pass in the extra parts. No, I need to pass in extra part nose. And set revision. Okay, so for this, just do remove extra, get head, Extra slot, no. Extra part, no's. Set revision. Okay. Look up above. There should be something for removing a part. Yeah. Okay. Function. Boom. Remove extra. Add component. Okay. So I need something to get the specific component that it goes along with. Did I just write that function somewhere else? Find extra canvas component. Yeah, I did. Cool. Const component. Let's find extra canvas component, and it's going to pass in the head component and the extra slot now. Okay. If not component, just return. There's nothing to do. It's probably a debug error, but I just don't want to get into that. Okay, so it's going to be extra part numbers. Then I have to do a filter. Const next extra part knows equals. Is it a filter? Is it a filter? It is a filter. Yeah. Okay, so it's going to be extra part knows filter ignored. And then slot no. And then just, we want everything where the slot number is not equal to the extra slot number that's going to be removed. Okay. Then I can set these here. Changes. I think just do this again. And that should remove the parts, or the one extra part. Okay. So then I've got that on remove extra. Just going to pass in these things. So I need to come back to the faces screen. I think that's right. Yeah. What is it? So it's going to be slot no. Revision. The extra part numbers. What was the last one? Set revision. Okay. So we'll see how well that does in a moment. Add the stupid hat in, and then let's remove it. Ah, it worked. Let's do undo, see if it pops back in. Yep, redo. Oh, I can't redo and undo. Actually, I should be able to. Okay, so if I say remove, and then I do an undo, then I do a redo. No, it worked. Undo, redo, undo, redo. Thing is, if you do an undo and then do any other action afterwards, even selecting something, then you've lost your ability to redo. That's okay though. That's, I think, pretty expected. Looks like the currently selected. No, that's right. Yeah. So let's see if I can get more slots to work in here. This is a good place to do commits. Okay. Get that in public. Extra parts can be added, placed, and removed. Recoloring works. Well, it already worked. Okay, git push. Off to GitHub it goes. Alright, I'm gonna get one more cup of coffee and I'll come back and do the multiple part slots, extra parts, extra number 2. But it's just gonna take me 2 minutes of walk away time. I'll be right back.
She's one of those.
Hey, just look away.
What a bruise.
Pushing on its own doesn't matter. She violated. I've pushed people by accident.
I'd rather we not focus on her
Back to
actions.
bad luck. He's upset, but he's always upset.
She's probably fine. Don't draw attention to
I
yourself.
don't care if she's a pusher.
What?
We'll go back to normal. Just wait a
They
bit.
want to ruin it for everyone else.
Let's hit the other one and see what they say.
Okay, you're saying
Hey,
she's too
nobody
pushy.
died.
You should be more
Can we
afraid
get a
of her.
beard in here? Why is it that hard? She just wanted people to clear the path.
She pushed someone
She's one of those.
at first glance, but do we understand?
Hey, just look away.
What a bruise.
Pushing on its own doesn't matter. She violated. I've pushed people by accident.
I'd rather we not focus on her
Back to
actions.
bad luck. He's upset, but he's always upset.
She's probably fine. Don't draw attention to
I
yourself.
don't care if she's a pusher.
What?
We'll go back to normal. Just wait a
They
bit.
want to ruin it for everyone else.
Let's hit the other one and see what they say.
Okay, you're saying
Hey,
she's too
nobody
pushy.
died.
You should be more
Can we
afraid
get a
of her.
beard in here? Why is it that hard? She just wanted people to clear the path.
She pushed someone
She's one of those.
at first glance, but do we understand?
Hey, just look away.
What a bruise.
Pushing on its own doesn't matter. She violated. I've pushed people by accident.
I'd rather we not focus on her
Back to
actions.
bad luck. He's upset, but he's always upset.
She's probably fine. Don't draw attention to
I don't
yourself.
care if she's a pusher.
What?
We'll go back to normal. Just wait a
They
bit.
want to ruin it for everyone else.
Let's hit the other one and see what they say.
Okay, you're saying
Hey,
she's too
nobody
pushy.
died.
You should be more
Can we
afraid
get a
of her.
beard in here? Why is it that hard? She just wanted people
thinking about this a little more.
Rather we not focus on their
That's the
actions.
bad look. He's obsessed, but he's
I'm pretty close to finishing up everything with extras.
I don't care if she
Everything.
Go back.
There's not much left. So I'm going to try to push through and just get it all done. I want to be done with it. I want to move on to more interesting stuff, to be honest. So I've got like the file system stuff to figure out. And that's the difference between this being a tool versus a toy. That you have persistence and you can say, I'm going to save this face and I come back to a new session and it doesn't just do this. So hopefully I'll finish up this extra stuff today. And then I'll be able to, by next weekend, be like deep into this file management stuff, which I've already got the design figured out for. It's going to be a little like Google Docs offline first, where like whenever you type it auto saves, and you know, kind of the same thing, but like all of your changes will just go to like a worker thread and save everything as you go to persistent storage. Okay, extras though. So how do I determine on the part selector? Okay, it's the extra count. I already have some code here. And this is going to be, instead of being hard code to 0, it's going to be revision extra part nose length. So if I do that, that might just pretty quickly give me what's needed. Yeah, extra number 2 is there now. Okay. So this is an opportunity for me to do an old comedy cliche called hat on a hat. Okay, no extra part number 2. Cool. That's the second slot. It's correctly showing state. Go back to the first slot. There's a weird thing where it selects the nose first every time, but I'll fix that in a bit. And it's not selecting the thing I've got. The selection is a little messed up. I'll get back to it. Extra number 2. It looks like an off by 1 error, to be honest. Okay. So let's get the other hat. There are various problems here. It did import the friggin' hat, though. I give it that. It's a bit of a mess. Yes, it is a mess. I do have multiple hats, I can say that much. Many bugs, though. Many bugs. So many bugs. You know what? Let's start fixing bugs. Let's start fixing bugs. First thing, when I click on extra number 1, I want it to I'm going to want it to bring up the extra dialog over here. The other thing I'm thinking about is I've got this default selection thing. When I click away from the head, it just selects the head by default. That's not going to be right for the extras though. When you click extra, like it shouldn't, and there is no extra in the slot, it shouldn't select anything. So maybe the first thing I'll do is I'll allow for nothing to be selected. And that will probably create some other bugs, but I'll just fix them all. Fix them as I go. Let's go to part UI Manager. I'm going to take out this default stuff that I put in. As I said, like the head will be the default part, but I don't really need that. Back how it was. Don't need that extra variable assignment. Get rid of this default business. Okay. Set focus. Create another one called clear focus. It'll be like this one but different. Oops. Can I just do this? Yeah, I can. Okay, don't need to show any part UI. Okay. Let's pass null to it. Okay. And that means I will need to set this callback definition to allow for null. Part move, part blah blah blah. Where is this defined? Part UI Manager. Oh, it's right here. Okay, so you can say that or null. Okay. Okay, then let's see who's getting called with on part focused. Somebody in faces screen. General interactions. On part moved, on part focused. Okay. Okay, so this suggests to me that it's going to be currying. It makes me think also I might have some problems with my selector being able to handle nothing being selected. Or null. So if it's null, say if not component, turn true, I guess. Yeah. So I could do that earlier though. Let's see what the behavior is for that. Okay, general interactions. Red squiggly. Okay, on part focus, you need to be able to accept a null. There we go. Now, if I click outside, yeah, it just hides everything. Can I come back to it though? I can't. Okay, so I'm good until I go to this state. This selector is not bad because it's just keeping the last pane that was there. The only downside of it is if I want to get my selection back on eyes, if I click on this, it's not doing anything. I know how to fix that though. But what about being able to come back to here? Okay, so there's an error. Is part at chords, tracked part, okay. On mouse down. Okay, so there's some assumption there that we have a part focused. Let's just go and check out that code. The line that blows up is right around there, 107. Okay. Okay. So let's see, what am I doing here? I'm saying, okay, first I'm looking for a resize button. If there's a resize button, I go off to that handler. Then I say next focus part equals, is the currently focused part being clicked? Let's take this out. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's see where else focus part is assumed to be set. I'm just going to search through all the code for every place where there's okay, so that was good. There's some defensive code there. Defensive code there, good. Okay, on mouse move. I can also say if there's no focus part, just return. Keep that robust. Just check my definition up above. It's, yeah, track part or null, good. Yeah, I see a fair amount of code that was already defending against a case where there's no focus part. So this looks like it's not going to be too bad. Okay, let's see how that does. Okay, do a little reload here. Load in the face. Click away from the face. Click back on the face. Looking good. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, okay. Okay. I'm going to add in the code that lets me just reselect. Like if I click here, it will come down here and reselect it. So for that, go to the part chooser. No, not the part chooser, part selector. Okay, so I've got on change equals on change, but I can also do on click equals, I think just call on change again, see what happens. Okay. So if I click head up here, okay, it brought that back. I did notice a little issue with the mouse cursor is not changing to the little Mickey Mouse hand, but go like that, come back, that part works. So I wonder about, do I want this to be like add extra instead of extra number one? Don't worry about that yet. Okay, let's fix the one little bug I found, which was that this should do the mouse cursor of the hand. Okay, so for that I can go into the selector inside of UI. Okay. Clickable selection equals on click not equal undefined. Okay. So if reclickable selection, then here let's do const selector button selected equals reclickable selection or just I don't need to create a brand new class. I will. I won't make a new class. I can use the embed thing. It'll work a little nicer. Selector button text selected. This is terrible naming. Redundant naming. Reclickable selection. This is going to be styles. So incredibly verbose. Okay, so once that's there, then I can say that we replace this. Let's go into the module, selector button selected, reclickable. What's the other cursor type? Not default, but pointer, that's the other one. And you shut up. You shut up. Just add it to, don't tell me. Yeah, save it to the dictionary. Okay. Okay. Can this be just color? I think that's more specific. I like that better. Okay. Color. Okay. Then let's do selector button text, reclickable. Selector button text selected, reclickable. There we go. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that at all. Okay, so if that's the case, I can come back and simplify this other code a little bit. So I can get rid of this. And this just becomes styles, select button text, selector button text selected. That one. There we go. Okay, that probably works the first time. Yep. There we go. There we go. Yeah, that works. Cool. Let's do a git commit. So I've got two reasons for making frequent git commits. One is stupid, very shallow. If I come here and it shows like, oh look, more activity. It's dumb. It's dumb. The other reason is better. Which is it just gives me a little checkpoint I can go back to if I make a set of changes that aren't really that good. Then I can just revert to the previous commit and kind of be in a known good state again. All right, what else? So if I click on okay, go on, extra number one. Yeah, it's clicking on the nose. It's selecting the nose. Then I click again, and that gets me to this panel here. That's not quite right. I don't know why it does that. Let's take a look at the code. So part selector, it's going to call onChange. And onChange is going to pass in the part type. I did say I wanted to support up to 50 of these. Maybe I should go ahead and add in all those constants. Boom. Oops. 8, 9, yeah. 10, okay. Just take these and just pop them in. That is so ridiculously verbose. At least I can do something like that. then all this stuff here. Okay. 20, 30, 40, 50. Ah. Yeah, 50 is like more than enough. More than enough. It could be pretty unusual for someone to do more than like 3. I want it to be performant around 20 parts, which is kind of an extreme case, but it should just be handled pretty well. And if somebody wants to go up to 50, I'll support it. But yeah, it's more like whatever the limit is that you pick, it should go past what a power user would want. Okay, so all that. And then I forgot what I was working on because I just did a whole bunch of data entry. Well, since I've already lost my train of thought, let's bike shed a little bit longer. There we go. That looks so much nicer. Not really. Okay, what was I doing? Oh yeah, if you click on those, no, if you click on extra, maybe right after the first reload. If I click on extra number 1, no, now it's working. I mean, it did go right to this. Did I fix something with those changes there? No, there you go. Now it's doing those. Okay. So here is the chain of events. Right after the load, click on anything else, like eyes. Then click on extra number 1. Now it worked. Okay. So it's on head. Click extra. Goes right to it. Okay, how do I get it? Is it head? Nose. Extra. No, that worked. Extra. Head. Extra. It goes right to it. How did I get it in that state? Reload. Unselect, extra. Ah! Try that again. unselect extra. Weird. Well, it is selecting the nose, but it's not selecting up there all the time. So let me think about this a little more. Okay, so click down here, then click this. The nose is selected. Okay, I do know whatever the current behavior is, it kind of doesn't matter. I'll need to write some new code that will handle the case of you clicking extra number 1, but no extra part is available. So I'll just write that code and then debug after that. Faces screen, there should be like a, let's see, part chooser interactions. Okay, on part changed. No, not that one. Let's go back up to faces screen. Part selector, on change. On part type change, okay. So it needs more information. It needs to know like the let me think. What does it need to know? Not too much. Not too much. There's the extra count being that I could pass along. And I say, why not? It's just extra count equals revision, extra part nose length. Okay, and this I can make it a little more readable. And here I can pass in extra count. Okay. Then where is this defined? General interactions, okay? Okay, on part type change. And this will be extra count. Although this function may already be able to return null. Actually, I like that much better. So let's do this. If next focus part, we'll do that. Otherwise, clear the focus. Okay, so if this thing is going to do the job of giving up, then I won't need to pass extra count. So go back to faces screen. Don't have to redo all that stuff, but just this guy does not need the extra count. Okay. Find canvas component for part type. Let's just see what's there. That's going to be in core util. Okay, this is wrong. If extra count. Just add another, like a maximum variable to this part type stuff. So we say, where's part type? Part type. Right here. Okay. So we'll say const max extra count equals 50. Export that. Okay. Back to where am I at now? Core util. Core util. Okay. If extra count greater than equal max extra count, return I gotta do like part type none or null. Return null. Or is there a part type none already? Do I have that? Nope. Let's do null. But I do. There's a certain type of bug that happens when I do like a if, like this kind of comparison in the expression, and having that first value be 0, none, be 0 will allow me to do these kind of Boolean comparisons without generating subtle errors. So I'm going to add that in. Part selector. Okay, so this can be none at 0, meaning nothing is selected. Let me see what that might break. I don't think anything. Okay. Come back to core util. Yeah, find part type for canvas component. Let me say return part type extra plus the extra count. Subtract 1. That should all be good. Okay. I feel like I probably introduced a new bug. Yeah, for one thing, I've got an extra part up here. So extra number 1, nope, you are not selecting right. Okay, head. Okay, there's a off by something error there. Eyes gets the head, mouth gets the eyes, nose gets the mouth. Extra number 1 gets the nose, extra number 2 gets extra 1. Okay, so I'm kind of off by one error that I introduced. Let's fix it. So if I click on head, it's going to return a number that I'm probably just treating as the constant. And I should not do that. So let's go to part selector. Let's say on change. You actually need to do a correction here, because this will be the selection number. Then on change. Part type head plus selection node. Okay. Let's get this on to the next line. Okay, so that should fix that. This is wrong now. Part type extra 1 plus extra count plus 1. Where did extra count come from? It was passed in. Okay, one thing at a time. Head. Mouth. Eyes. Okay, I got it. So selected option now equals part type minus part type head. That is not very readable. Let's do function selection no to part type selection no number part type. And then we just return part type head plus selection. Right, and then the other way. I make these functions, and then it means that the code will be easier to read and understand and maintain. Even though it's doing a very simple thing. Let's see, we'll say part type minus part type head. Okay, so then this will be, here, let's do it this way. Use consistent names. Okay, option equals part type to option no. We're going to pass the part type to it. It'll return the option number. Be consistent with naming. On change and function on change. This will be option no, pass in on change option. On change. Or is there like a callback type? Yeah, let's do this guy here. Hey, call it change part type callback equals that. And this will come and be there. Change option, on change part type, and then just on change part type, option no to part type, option no. And we can do on change option. Option no, on change. Okay. All right. So let's see how it's doing. Still giving me, you know, the extra count out to here. But how's my selection? Okay, eyes good, mouth good, nose good. Extra number 1. Extra number 2. Okay, still some weirdness there. So let me get rid of this extra option, and I'll see if it's that the extra count is incorrect. Console log extra count. What do I expect the extra count to be? Starting now, I expect the extra count to be 0. 0 should be passed in, because that's the number of extras that I actually have. It is 0. Okay. So if it's 0, then that's the right thing being passed in. Then when I generate the option names, I've got an off by 1. It's probably just this here. I don't want to change it too quick, though. I want to understand it. Otherwise, I might just introduce some other bug. So I say generate the option names with the extra count. And I say give us the minimum. Yeah, it's just bumped by 1 because of the okay, is part type count going to be correct anymore? I think it's not. I think I got to go down by 1. So this second one is if we already have 50 parts, we don't say extra number 51. This will return a slice of the first set of options that matches, or the number of options that matches what we need to display for the extra count. Okay, so that fixed that. Eyes, mouth, nose. Okay, that worked over there, but I would have liked it if it cleared the focus here. I thought I added code for that, but possibly not, or possibly that code is incorrect. So general interactions on part type change. It should return a next focus part of null for the extra stuff. So let's just see what it's actually doing. Depending on what the answer is, I'll go into the debugger on this function. Okay, let's just reload so I can get a clear console off to my right. Okay, so if I click extra 1, I'm expecting a null component to be returned. That's not what happened. It returned the nose. Okay, that's good. It's good that, you know, I can see something wrong there. Let's also check on the part type. Now, what the heck? Let's just set a breakpoint and go in. Okay, so this is what general interactions. So I go to my sources. Gonna resize this so I've got a little room to see source code. General interactions. Nope, you're not loaded. That's okay. Okay, breakpoint set. Click on extra number 1. Okay. Okay, so if I say I might as well go in. Well, what's the part type? Part type 4. I think that's extra number 1. Am I right on that? I'll go to the code to see. Part selector. No, 4 is nose. 4 is nose. Okay. So this code is correct. It's actually selecting the nose. But some other code prior to it is incorrect. I thought I had corrected for the part type off by 1, but something else is going on. Okay. That's nose. So if I go and look for this, it's going to say, it's going to return back the nose, basically, correctly. It's the part type being passed in that needs to be fixed. Okay, so who called that? On option click. On change. So it would have gotten the I gotta do the on click as well. Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, so on click from the selector is gonna pass the option number to on option click in the selector, which is going to call on click. Come up one. So where are we at now? We're on change. So it's this on click handler that is circumventing the part change. Okay, got it. I can fix that. Part selector. Okay, so I've got on click here, it's just going straight through, but let's not do that. Let's do on change or click option. Okay. So come back to here, see how we're doing. Okay, so if I click on extra number 1, good, it changed this correctly. The selector down here changed too, which I don't like, to be honest. Nose. It would have been better if it cleared the focus, so I gotta go back to that general interactions and see what's going on with that. Do a reload. Click on extra number 1. Let's see. So the part number that you get past really ought to be 5. Okay, is it 5? It is. Good. So that part I fixed. So I'm guessing next focus part is coming back with the nose. Okay, I should also be including a check for the nose part type here. That's a bug. Logical error that might be responsible. Yeah, that would give me an off by 1 error by the time I got down to here, because it would have counted the nose as like +1 beyond that. Yeah, it's counting the nose as an extra part. That's essentially it. Okay, so if I come back, fix up that little bit of garbage, core util. That might be the bug fix I need there. you know what? This is even simpler. I just say if it's equal to the extra part type, which is a new. Yeah, that's a nicer way to code that. While I'm at it, I did see some code that could have been simplified. Where is that at? K4 Killer. Which language? It is TypeScript, which is types for JavaScript. Are you familiar? Or what kind of coding you like to do? Okay, come back over to here. Okay, so what I want to happen when I click on extra number 1 is that it will remove this selection box. Yes, good, very good. Everything seems in order. Okay, so I can add the extra part in, this little dumb hat. Okay, and it added an extra number 2, so I could add another extra part. How's my selection UI now? What languages do you like? Or language? I write in some different things. We might have some overlap between us. Oh, cool. Although your exam might not be your favorite thing in the world. Yeah. Dun, dun, dun. So let's see. How's the selection doing? Click on that. Click on this. Bam, bam. Not seeing bugs yet. So I'm making sure everything's in sync. So we click on the extra number 1 here. This is selected. This is shown over here. Okay. Click on the mouth. Okay, cool. Full stacking. That's good for the market right now. I do feel like the market's kind of wrong in wanting so many full stack web developers. Because there's so much specialization that is useful on the front end, but I would never try to talk you out of learning full stack because that's what's hot with the market. I think it'll take a little while for it to change to something else that makes more sense. I suspect that the bias for full stack development comes from being able to have teams that develop features from the top of the stack to the bottom, or the front of the stack to the back of the stack. But honestly, I think they're screwing up the industry at large and asking for so many full stack developers. Okay, so that's all working great. Now let me try the thing that didn't work previously, which was if I add an extra part here, hat on a hat, then my selection's all messed up. Like this guy here, I cannot pick it. I can only pick the head. So it's not a game at this point. I have made games in other languages, C++ and C#/Unity. This is more like a tool to make games. So you make the faces, you define some character dialogue. There's some stuff where it handles a lot of animation for you. There's like a really nice automatic lip animation feature that works like a champ. You just bring in any speech audio, and then it just analyzes the audio and
Absolutely not.
creates all the lip animation
Absolutely not.
automatically. So it's an authoring tool for games that are character dialogue driven, and you'll be able to use speech recognition to talk directly to the characters. Okay. So, do I want to bite off this last bug in this session? Thanks, fella. Appreciate the compliment. I think I'll take a crack at fixing this last bug, but I'm not going to kill myself. It might expand off into multiple hours and have to be divided out into another session. But I'll try to fix it in this one. Okay, so my first question is, after I add in part, what does it look like in the part manager? That's the thing I want to know. The part UI manager. Okay. This is probably where I'm messing up, though. This is probably where I'm messing up. Okay, let me think about this algorithm right here. Create track parts for face. Yeah, I'm just going to set a breakpoint in here and see what the logic does on the add. Okay, for a killer, important to get your sleep. I will see you in another session. Have a good night. Good luck on your exam. Let's see, it was in part UI manager, and the thing will be track parts for face, but first add one, then set a breakpoint because we're going to add a second one. Okay, let's see what tracked parts it thinks it should create. Actually, let's look at the head component first. So 6 children. This will be the head. This will be the eyes. This will be the mouth, nose. Extra 1, extra 2. Let's look at extra 1 and extra 2. Okay, part type should say extra. Oh, I think actually one of them is UI. Okay, this is extra. And then the 5 down there is probably going to be UI. But like I haven't added the new part yet. Nope, I'm wrong. It says extra on both. So, hold on. What's 3? 3 is UI. So that's the UI selection box for the head, I'm guessing. So now I'm confused. Oh, no, the top one is the head. This is the eyes. This is the mouth. This is the nose. UI for the selection box around the head. Extra, extra. Okay, that makes sense. So if I say next track parts, I think I should have 5 elements in it. Let's see what I actually have. I'm wrong. I got 6. Okay. Extra. Two extras at the beginning. Then nose. Mouth. Okay, then what? Eyes? Yep. What's the last one? Oh, it's going to be the head. That's right. Okay, track parts is going to include the head. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so this so far looks correct to me. Okay, then let me think how the rest of this code works. We're going to remove missing parts from the next track parts. But I think it won't remove anything. Let's go in, double check, remove missing parts. Compare parts against is up here. Find part by type name. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't look like it could really succeed. Huh, boy, this is going to be tricky. I can see that now. Because this code assumes there's one of each type of part. Okay, I'm going to make some notes. And I'm going to put this away to come back to. I'm going to make some notes on everything I know that I'm going to need to change. Because this is going to take a little while. And I would rather not use my waning brain power to dive deep into it. I can come back fresh later. Okay, remove missing parts. Wrong place to put the comment. Let's go to remove missing parts. It's going to be over here. To do. Extra parts need a better way to link besides part type. One part type of, let's see, part type extra does not preserve which items will be removed. See calling code from track, what's it called? Track parts by face. Okay, let me give myself some ideas so I don't like start empty. Also, like your brain kind of works on things when you walk away from it. If you just do like the start of some work. Okay, ideas. Number one, assign an ID, a unique ID to every extra part. Number two, assign a unique ID to every part. Number three, imply a unique ID from what? From what? From, I don't know, some other variables in the part. Unlikely for that one to work. Number four, remove tracked part explicitly instead of with part UI manager remove part rather than track parts for face, noticing the difference in removing implicitly. Is there an easier way to do it? Number five. Use the instance value of the component to compare. Is that going to work? Is that going to work? Not necessarily, because probably won't work because of recoloring, which loads a new instance. Okay. So far, this one seems to be the best. That one maybe is just as good or better. That one's probably better. Unlikely to work. Maybe good. Unlikely to work. So just a few notes so I come back to this problem, which I got a little bit deep into just now. I won't be completely new to it again. So I want the best of both worlds. To have a fresh brain, but some of the context loaded in quickly. All right. I think I'm going to shut down this session here. I did get a lot more done today than I thought I would. At the beginning of the day, I was kind of unwilling to think that I would be able to add in these parts and resize them and do all the cool stuff with them and be able to remove them and to replace them. That is actually a good day's work. The UI is pretty good. It's not full of bugs. It's just got one major bug around dealing with multiple extra parts. So it's not a bad place to leave. By the way, this little mental talk I'm having with myself is for my own psychological benefit, because there is something really disturbing to me at times with ending a session without resolving any bugs that I see, or not being able to get everything done that I set out to do. So I'm just talking it over just so I can end the session like with good mental health. It's like I really did work at this pretty hard today, and I got more than I thought I would get done. And the bugs I do see, the cause is clear. There'll be some good changes I can make to get them all fixed. And that's the kind of self-talk that helps me relax for the rest of the evening and eventually go to sleep and put all this stuff away when I got to go to the day job tomorrow and I can't work on this. So for everyone who joined me, whether you chatted in the session or you're just lurking and hanging out, thank you. Come back again if you want. Lurkers, feel free to lurk in the future or chat me. Happy to talk to people, happy to ignore people. Anyways, coming to the end of the stream here, and I wish you all good morning, night, evening, day. Stopping the stream. Stopping the stream. Stopping it.